magic makers, and welcome back to the Metaphysical Apothecary. We are your hosts, Megan and Shannon. Say hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
We are also known as the Scorpio Sisters, and we are here to explore the mysterious, magical, and the arcane. We're going to talk about the superstitions born out of practicality and how they morphed from practical cautions to these supernatural things that you should never do, or there's going to be supernatural consequences. There's so many of these, and they seem to vary from family to family. One of the biggest ones for the family that I married into is do not put your purse on the floor. If you carry a purse or a bag, don't put it on the floor, because the supernatural consequence will be that you're going to lose money. But the practical reason you might not want to put your purse or your bag on the floor is that somebody could easily take it. In that sense, you are absolutely losing money and anything else that was in the bag if you put your bag on the floor.
So my family also has a superstition of don't put your purse or bag on the floor. We know that there is a superstition correlated with that particular warning, and we know it has to do with losing money, but we actually follow it for the practical reason. We live in the New York City area, so not only would we have pickpockets and muggers who would love to just take your purse or your bag that you've left more or less unattended on the floor, but there are also things that are crittery and like to crawl into bags because they are dark.
Yeah, they want to come home with you.
Yeah. I have actually learned this the hard way by putting my bag down on a bus and bringing home a critter and then having to kill the critter before it could do anything else.
Which is no good. It's
No
not
blame.
pleasant for anybody.
No. Needless to say, the moment I realized I did this stupid thing and the reason why I didn't follow this particular superstition was not practical. I need to follow the practical advice of do not put your purse or bag on the floor.
Exactly. Another one that you actually taught me in college, Shannon, was you're not supposed to put your shoes anywhere but on the floor. I had taken off my shoes in the dorm room and put them on my desk chair, like on the seat of the desk chair. And Shannon came over and she said, why are these not on the floor? You're inviting bad luck to you by putting them on the surface other than the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuck with me. But the practical reason for not putting your shoes on any surface beyond the floor is that they are dirty.
Yeah. And you don't know what you stepped in. So if you happen to put your shoes on your chair and then you want to sit on your chair, you take your shoes off, you put them on the floor, and you sit in a smeared piece of dog shit, you just invited bad luck to you. What the hell do you want to do with
it? You invited that.
You did it to yourself.
Literally. It is a very practical perspective on this.
Yeah, I've mentioned it previously, but my family does actually have a great deal of superstitions. We follow a lot of the cultural ones as aesthetic, with some actually being potentially applicable to magic. But the practical ones, we have a whole lot of them. And while we do have this correlation for the bad luck or superstitious and supernatural consequence for doing that action, we power it through practicality. You know, if you put your bag on the floor, you are inviting bad luck and to lose your money because you're inviting a pickpocket to come over and go, oh, that's easy pickings.
Mm-hmm.
You're inviting a critter to come crawl into the dark cave that is your purse or bag and come home with you, and then either catching it and having to kill it yourself or having that critter decide to lay eggs.
Yes.
Thankfully, you did not step in smeared dog shit, so you did not have to have the consequence of sitting on a chair that had dog shit smeared on it.
We also had on our campus the most enormous squirrels I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. So their leavings also would not have been super pleasant to track in and have on my upholstered desk chair. There's the tenet of many, many Asian cultures and actually Eastern European cultures as well to not even wear your shoes in the home. You take them off before you even enter the home or as soon as you enter the home, and they stay in a designated place. There's a lot associated there with drawing bad luck into your home, but it's also a very practical way to keep germs and dirt out of your home and therefore limit the amount of disease you expose yourself to.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that I grew up with. We didn't wear shoes in my house. My wife's family does, but she and I have decided that we're a no shoe in the house family. It just makes more sense. Don't walk under a ladder because it's bad luck to walk under a ladder. You're going to invite misfortune on yourself if you walk under a ladder. And to a certain extent, this makes sense, especially if there's someone on the ladder.
Or something on the ladder. Like there could be no one on the ladder, but they left a can of paint up there.
Yes. And it's not grounded properly, or it's on gravel, or, maybe it's started to rain and the water got under the skids. You could be inviting misfortune by having the ladder fall on you.
Yeah, the ladder could fall on you. The paint can or paintbrush that they're using could fall on you. A hammer, because people use hammers on ladders. Gravity happens. It's a thing. It happens. And if you happen to be underneath the thing that's going to fall, chances are you're going to get hit by it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's a person at the top, they could drop something accidentally, and there you are underneath the ladder.
Exactly. This was probably a superstition that was implemented when ladders weren't even as reliable as they are now. Cities were becoming more and more of a thing. They were becoming more industrialized. So there was more construction going on. We have more ladders being leaned against buildings, and they're really just wooden planks nailed together. The skill with which they're nailed together could change how sturdy they are, but they're not as reliable as the non-skid industrial lockable brace things that we have now.
Which could still be dangerous to be under if it's not on a secure footing, if the ground it's sitting on is not secure.
Exactly.
So don't walk under a ladder. Superstition or bad luck will follow you, or you'll have misfortune. You can see that gravity happens, and it's just safety-wise common sense.
Exactly. Another superstition that we all know, especially those of us who watched Supernatural, is the breaking of a mirror can cause 7 years of bad luck. And that episode of Supernatural where they broke like 100 mirrors, and then the rest of the series, they just couldn't get their shit together. Back in the day when mirrors were backed by silver, and a lot of them had gilt frames or very carefully turned wooden frames, and they were really expensive. They were a luxury to have in the home, because the most you could hope for in the lower areas of society was maybe a piece of shined bronze or your reflection in the window if you had glass in the window. But if you had a mirror, you were really high up in society. Servants were probably handling your mirror for you, bringing it to you in the morning, putting it away when you were finished with it, cleaning it when it got smudged, those sorts of things. Interesting to think about the ways in which these employers or even the head housekeeper would have encouraged the servants to be cautious with this really expensive, very special luxury item by telling them, if you break that, you're going to have 7 years of bad luck. There's going to be a big problem. And I mean, yes, you would have had a lot of bad luck because your employer would have been mighty angry with you.
Probably. I know that some of the older mirrors as well were mercury. So breaking a mercury mirror probably wasn't good for your mental health or health in general.
No, it wouldn't have been good. So your 7 years of bad luck could have been your employer suddenly not having their wits about them anymore, you not having your wits about you anymore.
I would not consider that a very lucky thing.
No, not at all. And then there are things like not putting your hat on the table. That's bad luck. It invites bad luck into the home. When hair hygiene was questionable and people weren't necessarily able to bathe, or it wasn't culturally appropriate to bathe super often, especially in urban areas where people were crowded together, there was more disease going around, there was lice. You don't want to put your hat on the table, because that's...
Even when there was better hygiene that was happening, lice do like cleaner heads than dirtier heads.
That's true, they do.
So putting the hat on the table, whether you were clean hair hygiene or not clean hair hygiene,
yeah, questionable at best.
I won't do it. I won't do it. And I know my hair hygiene, I still won't do it.
I won't either. What does this mean for us as witches? How do we use these? Do we ascribe to them? Are they part of our magical practice? Are they something that we should be adhering to? Or is there some way to incorporate them into our practice that makes them more significant in a beneficial way rather than a detrimental way? Because a lot of these have to do with inviting misfortune into your sphere of influence.
If you're not doing it from the practical sense of, I don't like critters, I don't want them anywhere near where I live, sleep, eat, or breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing it from a very fear-based or scarcity mindset, it could trip you up to the point where you're just doing the superstitions to facilitate that scarcity mindset.
Right. So that's something to examine. If these are some things that you regularly do out of fear of bad luck, then you're going to invite bad luck in. It's really interesting.
That's all we have on the topic for today. Thank you so much for listening in, and we hope you'll join us again. In the meantime, you can follow us on our blog for some more witchy wisdom, as well as check out some of our original art on Society 6 for sacred decor and more. Thank you again for joining us, and go make some magic and live your best life. Bye.
Bye, everyone.